You know, I think it's sometimes important to get the full backstory on certain situations in order to really be able to assess the biases and motivations and agendas at play. So that's why I think this is a super important video today. So let's say you sell appliances. Do you think you'd be better off touting your air conditioner as 50% more efficient than the competition's, or 1/10 of 1%? Absurd question, I know, but hang on, because this is exactly the scenario that the pharmaceutical world goes through every time they have to push a new drug to market. And with a global market estimated at about $1 trillion, they're obviously staggeringly good at it. Okay, so where am I going with this? Well, the day after my last video on statins, a patient brought me this and said, "Please, doc, help me. I don't understand these numbers." I'll leave a link in the description. Yeah, shocker, a drug study with confusing data and stats. Well, look, don't be alarmed. That's the entire goal, to keep the casual reader completely in the dark. All right, let's take a peek then. It's a published study on reporting bias in COVID-19 vaccine trials. Hardly the first time for that. The crux of the paper is this. Early on in the pandemic, Pfizer and Moderna widely reported that their mRNA vaccines reduced risk to COVID by 95%. Get that? 95%! Wow, slam dunk! Well, immediately many world-renowned virologists, immunologists, and other scientists tried to tell us that that was fairy tale nonsense, but you know how that turned out. And what can you do except keep trying to shine sunlight on this stuff? And so here comes a paper demonstrating that the exact same data in the trials calculates to not 95% effectiveness, but under 1%. Huh? How could such an enormous difference be even remotely possible? Well, here's the thing. Anything's possible for people lacking a conscience. And I guess with tens of billions of dollars at stake, people who fit this bill aren't hard to find. So with that, let me show you how this kind of disinformation, this dishonest, disingenuous campaign works. First of all, the flim-flam depends on your not knowing the difference between absolute risk and what researchers euphemistically call relative risk. Let me take you through a simple hypothetical example right here. Let's use the hypothetical Hocus Pocus pharmaceutical company as our example and a trial of their seasonal flu vaccine. 2,000 subjects were involved, 1,000 received their vax, and 1,000 did not. The entire group was exposed to the flu virus, and a week later, one of the vaxxed group tested positive for flu, while 2 of the unvaxxed group did. That's obviously a difference of 1 in 1,000, or 0.001. Thus, we can conclude that the absolute risk reduction for this vaccine is 1 in 1,000, 1/10 of 1%, or 0.001. Okay, good. So we know now that the reduction in risk for flu in the vaxxed group is 1 in 1,000, 0.001, or 1/10 of 1%. This is known as the absolute risk reduction. Makes sense so far, right? Guys, I won't be a minute. Yeah, this is Jay. Hi, I'm a little busy. What's up?
Hi, Sammy from marketing here. Yeah, I hate to break it to you, but the numbers in this trial aren't going to sell any vaxes. This drug offers a 0.001 benefit. It's basically useless.
Yeah, Sammy, I realize that. This is what I'm explaining to folks here right now. So look, you know what to do. You fellows need to spin this. Run them through the relative risk calculations. Now I have to run them in the middle of video. Okay, talk to you later. Thanks a lot. I'm sorry, I so apologize. But there you have it. Enter the relative risk boondoggle. It's like magic. It's like the magician sawing the assistant in half. You know it's fake, but you just can't figure out how he did it. So let's peel back the study, shall we? You'll recall that in the vaxxed group, 1 person got sick, and in the unvaxxed, 2. Oh, you mean half the vaxxed got sick relative to the unvaxxed? That's right. Relative risk sounds like 50% to me. As absolutely fabricated as that number is, we have our marketing campaign. Our drug reduces risk to flu by 50% in trials. And oh, we don't need to bother mentioning that this is relative risk, not absolute risk. The average Joe won't really know the difference anyway. And of course, we know that the absolute risk is 1/10 of 1%, not the advertised 50% in this hypothetical trial. And now we see that relative risk is meaningless gibberish, but with a couple of quick number tricks, we've just spun the effectiveness of this thing up from virtually 0 to 50% without breaking a sweat. Lies, damned lies, and statistics, right? So this is a simple example with simple numbers to demonstrate the math, but this is exactly how it works. Moral of the story is that relative risk numbers are complete garbage, blatant fakery to prop up artificially the effectiveness of these drugs. Reject them out of hand immediately. Never ever accept the flashy advertising hype unless you can find the absolute risk numbers and absolute risk reductions. You must simply treat everything else as marketing spin nonsense. So remember, big pharma, big government, big medicine is big business. Get healthy to stay healthy. Explore more in my other videos. They told me to shut this door when I leave. Well, until I see you again in the next one, yours in vibrant health, Dr. J.